If you can't show empathy, you can't bond properly with people. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am so excited to be here again. I hope you are excited just as I am. Today, I would be talking about emotional intelligence and how important it is in our families and our homes, and how important it is for building very good relationships. My name is Olufumi Odumuagun. I am a homemaking enthusiast and I am passionate about sharing content and tips that can make your family better. This year particularly, we would be having different themes of the month where we'll be focusing on different aspects of homemaking. So please subscribe to my channel and follow closely. Trust me, your home and your family will not be the same. So this month we've been focusing on building better relationships. You can check my videos on 5 love languages explained and magic words. But today we're talking about emotional intelligence. This word EQ is a common word that flies around, but today we're going to be learning how it really applies to the home space and what emotional intelligence is really. So what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and manage your emotions and also understand the emotions of other people too. EQ or EI as it is popularly called is very important to run a very happy home, to run a home that is full of harmony. And there are 5 key elements to EQ which I'll be talking about. So the first key element is self-awareness. Self-awareness is the ability to understand your own emotions and know that your emotions impact other people. So some people just want to behave how they like and they say, that's me, that's how I am. If you want to be more emotional intelligent, then you would be aware that who you are, how you behave, impact other people. And if you want to have a happy home, if you are part of a family, you need to be more aware of your emotions. How you behave, passive aggressiveness, how you talk to your children impact other people's lives. You are not in isolation. The second key element of emotional intelligence is self-regulation. Self-regulation is the ability to manage your emotions and react properly, irrespective of how you are feeling. A self-regulated person will not say, I'll give you a piece of my mind. You just not dish out how you feel, react just how you are to your children, to your husband. A self-regulated person would pause and think before they react. So are you saying that there are so many aspects of emotional intelligence and you might be very good in one aspect and be lacking in the other? That is why you need to stay till the end of this video and see where you are lacking and where you have strength, so that you can improve on your strength and also work on your weaknesses. The third key element of emotional intelligence is motivation. That's the ability to make decisions and to behave constructively. That is, to be able to carry things out, to do what you are supposed to do. For example, you have children. Motivation will help you put structures to be able to do what you should do part time, to your spouse, to your children, carrying out your duties within the home space, and lots more. The fourth key element is empathy, and empathy is like the most common key element of emotional intelligence where most people focus on. So if you lack empathy, people tend to say, oh, you lack emotional intelligence. However, there are many other aspects, just like I have highlighted. So empathy is the ability to understand the emotions of other people around you in your home or anywhere and respond to them appropriately. The fifth key element of emotional intelligence is social skills, which is the ability to build relationships and to maintain the relationship. So some people have the ability to ask a lady out, but they don't have the ability to sustain the relationship. Some people have the ability to say, yes, I will love you, I'll marry you, but they don't have the ability to maintain that relationship. I think a lot of us lack in this area, and this is an area that many people need to focus on. It's not enough to just start a relationship. It's not enough to just get married. It's not enough to give birth to children. You must know how to maintain the relationship so that things will go well all year round or throughout life. So why is the subject of emotional intelligence very important in our homes? Without high EQ or EI, a home would not function as it should. There will be lots of stress in the home. You need emotional intelligence within the home. It is very important. And why is it important? First, you need emotional intelligence to communicate properly with your spouse, your children, brothers, sisters, parents, whoever lives in your house. It's not enough to just open your mouth and just talk as you like or as it comes to you. Emotional intelligence helps you to know how to put words out appropriately in such a way that it doesn't affect the other people negatively. The second reason why emotional intelligence is important, emotional intelligence helps you to bond with other people. It helps you to show empathy. It helps you to relate with other people's pain and offer them support when they need it. If you can't show empathy, you can't bond properly with people because you won't be able to love them as they want to be loved. You won't be able to meet them at the point where they need you emotionally. Thirdly, emotional intelligence helps with conflict resolution. If you are not emotionally intelligent, you will either avoid conflict, which is not even a right thing because conflicts are a normal part of a relationship, or you will not know how to end conflicts. Like when conflicts finally come up, you make them escalate and everywhere is a mess just because of a disagreement. The fourth reason why you need emotional intelligence is raising your kids, relating with children. Children are naturally developing emotionally. You need a high level of emotional intelligence to be able to raise kids who would be very sound and responsible in the world. The fifth reason why you need emotional intelligence is for stress management. Nobody wants a house that is stressful. Unfortunately, many of us live in homes that are very stressful because one or two persons in the house are not emotionally intelligent. Where there is low emotional intelligence, there will be stress. The sixth reason why emotional intelligence is very important is to build a positive atmosphere in your home. Everybody wants a home with harmony, love, peace, and joy, but it just does not happen naturally. You need to build your EI or EQ to be able to have a home that functions properly. Now let's get to the part where we talk about how to improve emotional intelligence. So with all I have highlighted already, you should be able to reflect and see which areas you have strength and which areas you have weakness. I bet you are not 100% in all areas. There will be one area where you have more strength and some other areas where you need to work on. So how can you improve on your emotional intelligence? Firstly, the good news is you can improve on your emotional intelligence. I would like you to look at all the 5 key elements and rate yourself over 100. How would you rate yourself on a scale of 100 in self-awareness, in self-regulation, in motivation, in social skills, and in empathy? I bet you would not be on 100 in every aspect. And this is why I'm going to be talking about how you can improve your emotional intelligence. So the first thing I'll be talking about is how to improve self-awareness. You can improve self-awareness by practicing reflection. That is, access your feelings, access your emotions every now and then. Whenever you react wrongly, make sure that you assess it. What are your triggers? What makes you happy? What makes you excited? What makes you sad? What makes you moody? Be reflective. On a daily, try to reflect on your emotions. What are the various emotions that you experience today? Practicing reflection will help you to become more self-aware. You would know when you get triggered with your husband or your babies or your children. You will know what they do that annoys you the more. But when you just live life without reflection, you will just see that you are an emotional mess. The second thing I would recommend is journaling. Get a journal. If you don't have a journal, please get a journal. Journaling helps you with self-awareness. Try to journal every day. In your journal, you can have highlights you want to talk about every day, like what were the emotions I felt today, what made me happy today, what made me sad today, what thing am I most grateful for today, and all those things. Thinking about those questions and answering them appropriately will help you to become more self-aware, and in no time you will see that you are a better person and you know how to manage your emotions better. People who are self-aware are able to tell when they are angry, when they are getting upset. A lot of people do not know that they are even angry and then are passively aggressive in the home. Like everybody just thinks that you are aggressive, but you don't even know because you're not self-aware. You don't know when someone has offended you already. You just know that you are feeling somehow. Practicing self-reflection and journaling will help you to know your emotions. It will help you to be able to name your emotions. There are a variety of emotions in this world. The popular ones are anger, joy, happiness, excitement, fear, frustrations, and many others. Practicing self-awareness will help you to put a name to your emotion, and it will become easier. You just find out, oh, I'm frustrated. Not that you're just walking about in life and you don't even know how you feel. If you constantly don't know how you feel per time, you'll find out that you would behave irrationally most times, and that is not demonstrating emotional intelligence. The third way to build self-awareness is asking for feedback from your family members and friends. Constantly ask your spouse, your children, how am I doing? Am I a good mom? Do you love how I parent you? Do you love how I correct you? Ask for feedback from your spouse. Am I respectful? Am I loving? Do I treat you properly? And ask with a genuine heart, not with a heart to fight them. And if you are also being asked, answer genuinely, not with malicious intent. Tell them how they can improve. Give them the appropriate feedback that they need when they ask you. And you also should seek feedback and be open to accept feedback and work on yourself. The next point is, how do you improve your self-regulation? Always pause before you react. That is my number one point. Pause before you react. If you are a very reactive person, you might want to paste it around you. I am not an angry person. Or make affirmations every now and then. Pause before you react. I do not talk before I think, because you should think before you talk. You should think before you respond. You should assess what you're about to say or do. You should not just fight or react. Always pause before you react. That will really help you with self-regulation. Don't just talk because you feel like it. The second way to improve your self-regulation is practice mindfulness. Always ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? What is my current emotion? How did I get here? Bring yourself back to the present. Listen to your breath. Assess your current emotions and do that as often as you can during the day. The third way to improve self-regulation is setting boundaries. Know when to stop. Tell yourself before conflict that I would never maybe talk back at my husband in front of my children. I would never yell at my children. Create boundaries, and sometimes boundaries are usually crossed, but it is only a boundary that you have created that can be crossed. So it is important that you always create boundaries. Have boundaries around your children. I don't want to beat, I don't want to yell when I'm angry. Create boundaries. Don't beat your children or flog your children when you are angry, or even at all, as much as you can. Don't yell at your children as much as you can. Don't yell at your husband as much as you can. So create boundaries. You can write down your boundaries. I am never going to yell at my children. I am never going to yell at my husband. I am never going to speak rudely to my husband. I would not respond rudely when I am angry. I would tell my husband or my wife to let us speak about this in 5 minutes. I will learn to cool off when I'm angry. Create boundaries for yourself ahead of time so that when conflict arises, you will know how to regulate yourself and behave appropriately. The next thing I'll talk about is working on your empathy. How can you improve on empathy? The first way I would say is by active listening. When you listen to people, listen without interruption. Also, listen without the intention of responding. Like, don't listen to respond. Listen because you want to understand them. And also, maintain eye contact when they are talking. When you're talking to your spouse or children, do not stay on the phone and just say, I can hear you, I can hear you. No, watch them to be able to perceive their body language, their facial expressions when they are speaking, because body language speaks a lot. And if you really want to build on your empathy, you don't want to miss out on body language. And then you might also want to ask questions if you don't understand what their body language is saying. You should check up, okay, why did you do your face that way? Like, if you're not sure, okay, is there something else? Are you really sure? You want to dig deep. That is how to build on your empathy. But if you're not even paying attention in the first place, there is no how you can know that they are saying things with their body, with their facial expressions. The second way you can build on your empathy is trying to understand the perspective of others. We all have different perspectives to life. Sadly, like your children, your husband, all of you will not be thinking the same way every single time. So empathy helps you to be able to understand how they think, because we are all coming from different backgrounds. We all have different experiences. Even your children that you are raising, they go to schools, interact with people that you don't interact with. So they will definitely have different perspectives from yours. When they express their perspectives, welcome their perspectives and try to understand where they are coming from. The third way to work on your empathy is by learning to validate other people's emotions. Everybody has a right to their emotions. Don't be angry that somebody is angry. Let people be angry in peace. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be frustrated. Don't be saying things like, I wonder why you're even frustrated. I wonder why you're even angry. You can just say things like, I understand that you're angry. Try to validate other people's emotions. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be frustrated. What is not okay is to react negatively or to react wrongly in a way that hurts others when you are angry or frustrated. So validate other people's emotions. If your children say they are afraid of something that does not exist, for example, you as an adult should just not shut them down like, are you stupid? How can you even be afraid of cockroach? Will cockroach bite you? Try to empathize, see from their own perspective that they are just growing and they probably don't know that cockroaches don't bite. People have different emotions, and if you really want to build up on your empathy, you need to learn to affirm and validate other people's emotions. Practice this all the time. The next thing I'll talk about is how to strengthen your social skills. Like I said earlier, it's not enough to just be in relationships with people. It's important to maintain those relationships. Some people have chased away all their friends, infuriated their spouses, made their children angry because they do not know how to maintain relationships. They lack social skills. So the first way to build your social skills is to learn to express your feelings without blaming others. Learn to use the I statement instead of the you statement. For example, if you're feeling angry, use the word I feel angry. Instead of saying you made me angry, you said that, you are awful, you are irritating, you can say I feel irritated, or use the I statement more instead of blaming others for your own emotions or how you feel. Another thing is to not be judgmental of others when they decide to open up to you or share any information with you. Don't be quick to criticize that. How did you even do that? Don't be so judgmental. Just try to listen and offer emotional support as much as you can. The second way to build social skills is to learn to be available for others. Learn to offer support and help others when they need you. So if you have friends or your family, your husband, your children, learn to be available to help them and offer them support when they are down or when they need you. The third way to improve your social skills is practice gratitude. Learn to always say thank you. In our last video, I talked about magic words. Saying thank you would really improve your social skills. Do not stop saying thank you. In fact, routinely thank your spouse, thank your children for being amazing. Even if they are not yet amazing, thank them for things that they did or something. Look for something to be grateful for in your relationships, and you will see that would help you build social skills. Another thing is to also learn to apologize when you are wrong. Nobody wants to keep dealing with that person who never says sorry, who never admits their fault. So when you are wrong, learn to admit it. Apologize. If you don't apologize, write it as your screensaver, paste it on your walls. Always apologize. Apology helps you to improve and maintain your relationships. So the next thing I'll be talking about is how do you improve motivation as one of the key elements of emotional intelligence. The first is to set goals and follow through with them. Always set goals in your family, because if you don't set goals, you would not even know what you are doing. So for example, you want to give your children screen time limits. It's not enough to just say, Oh, screen time limits. What are your goals? It's not enough to just say, oh, too much screen time is not good for children. What does too much even mean? Set goals. I don't want my children to watch TV for more than this number of hours. And even for your own self, I don't want to be on the phone for so long. I don't want to be on the phone when my spouse is around. When we are eating at the table, I want to drop my phone. Set goals. Set your goals and follow through with your goals. That will really help to improve motivation. Also, always stay positive. Stay positive. Don't be this negative kind of person who just says, oh, that can't work. They tell you to set boundaries. You're like, no, that's not realistic. That can't work. I'm not a routine person. I don't like following rules. If you really want to build on your emotional intelligence, then you need to learn to stay positive. Don't just zero out on everything. Oh, is it possible not to beat kids? Oh, is it possible not to yell at my children? Be positive. It is possible. Some people are doing it. And when you maintain a positive mindset, you find out that you would begin to improve in those aspects, even if you are not perfect. Another important thing I would like to talk about regarding emotional intelligence is modeling and teaching emotional intelligence to children. Last week, I talked about magic words, and you want to teach this to your children, and you also want to model it to your children. Your children most times learn from what you do than what you say. So when you practice all of these things that we have said, you will see that your children will naturally develop high emotional intelligence. Parenting begins with you. Having a beautiful relationship, a beautiful family begins with you. Even when you have a difficult spouse, you start from your own side and start to practice emotional intelligence, and you will see them getting better because you are not as reactive when they trigger you. You know how to respond appropriately when they are being unreasonable. So it starts with you. Stop saying, yes, my husband needs to hear this. Stop saying, my children needs to see this. What are you doing? You should improve on your own self, and you watch how this will improve how you respond to other people, and this will eventually lead to you having peace and harmony in your home. Just as a way to wrap up, I'm going to talk about practical things you can do on your day-to-day to help enhance emotional intelligence in your home. The first is emotional check-ins. Always ask your children or your spouse how they feel in the morning or in the night. Make it a habit or a ritual in your house. Before you sleep, ask everybody, how was your day? Did you feel happy today? Were you sad? Let them express their emotions before going to bed or when they wake up in the morning, or both if you have the time to do the two. But at least have emotional check-ins in your home every day. Another practical thing is writing appreciation notes. Every now and then, write notes to your husband in form of text messages or WhatsApp messages. Just appreciate them every now and then. Do it for your children and encourage your children to also do it for children, because they might not be taking initiatives yet. You might ask them, what 5 things are you grateful for about mommy? What 5 things are you grateful for about daddy? What 5 things are you grateful for about the home? Learn to write appreciation notes to each other. This will help to enhance emotional intelligence. Another practical tip is to role play conflicts before they happen. There's this popular saying that the best time to prepare for war is when there is peace. So ask your spouse, when you are offended, how do you want me to react? When I am offended, what do I say? Practice conflict resolution before they happen, and you will see how this will enhance emotional intelligence in your home. You also can practice empathy by having sessions where you just sit with your spouse or people in your home and listen to what they are going through at work, at other spaces in life where you are not, and try to empathize with them. You can also have mindfulness sessions in your home where you do breathing exercises, practice meditations. These activities help to improve emotional intelligence. And the last but the most important thing I'm going to say is praying to God to give you wisdom to deal with your husband and your children. You need God wisdom to improve your emotional intelligence. You need the fear of God, because the Bible says the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. When you fear God and obey his commandments, and you are not doing what you are not supposed to be doing, you will see that it will be easier to live in harmony with each other. I hope that this video has been insightful and you have learned one thing or the other. Kindly let me know your take-home points in the comment section, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel if you've not, because we have structured content for different aspects of homemaking that will blow your mind away this year, and you don't want to miss out on them. So thank you so much for watching and have an amazing time. Bye.